What is up, YouTube and BitChute? Coming at you from the Smash News Network, least busted name in news, with our meteorology segment once again. And the first thing we're looking at are ocean currents. Yes, ocean currents. And what you have here is you've got the Gulf Stream barely making it to Ireland here. It's looking pretty weak. And if you're wondering why, well, it's because of anomalously cold water, probably caused by excessive snowmelt after we've seen a 6th consecutive winter of record snowfall in the Northern Hemisphere. You see all that anomalously cold water there in the North Atlantic. This area here, over 7 degrees Celsius below normal temperature, and that affects the oscillation of the warm to cold water, perhaps creating some cold times in places like Europe. Now let's start out with what we normally look at, the winds of the entire planet. Here are the surface winds of the eastern world. A giant low pressure system here in the Southern Ocean to the southwest of Australia. You can see that clockwise rotation there. Here are the jet streams of the eastern world. Looks like clear skies over most of Australia. Shout out to our viewers from Munda. Next, looking at the jet streams of the Americas. And it looks like we're getting some very hot temperatures here in the east central portion of the country. Some excessive heat advisories and so on. Also some hot temperatures there moving up into Canada for a welcome respite as winter's trying to not end. And there is still snow falling in some portions of the country, like western Montana. Also some freeze warnings. We'll get to it. Here are the surface winds. And you see those south to north winds there blowing across Texas. Some warm Gulf of Mexico air there blowing into the U.S. Here are the surface winds of Europe and Africa. A series of low pressures in the Southern Ocean all around the world, it looks like. Here's a quick view of that. Multiple low pressure zones there around Antarctica. It's looking cold as winter approaches the Southern Hemisphere. Here are the jet streams of Europe and Africa. Thanks to all of our viewers who tune into the content from around the world. And congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. Leave us a comment if you're viewing on BitChute, etc. Don't forget to visit our links, such as the links at smashomash.com. Help to support the Smash News Network, least busted name in news, with some merch. Give Smash staff a raise. Become a member of the Smash team. If you want to see all the major releases in one location, head to smashomash.com/smash team and click posts. You don't even have to be logged in to see our posts. They're public videos. And looking at the weather.gov map, we've got some excessive heat warnings here over a large portion of the southern Great Lakes states. Meanwhile, we've got freeze warnings in Oregon, parts of California, Nevada, winter storm warnings in parts of Montana, and some high winds as well. If your county's lit, head to weather.gov and click your county. We don't have time to cover all of that. We're looking at a more zoomed out perspective. Here is your NASA GOES lightning mapper. We've had some significant lightning over the past 10 hours in places like Nebraska, Iowa, and Wisconsin, moving into Minnesota as we speak. Here's a real-time lightning map from lightningmaps.org. If you've never checked it out, next time you hear thunder, check out lightningmaps.org. It could save your bacon. Don't get struck by lightning. Our finest days lie ahead. Whatever you do, do not pole vault the caldera. This public service message brought to you at massive personal risk and expense from Smash staff and I over here at smashomash.com. So there you have the current state of affairs. A serious lightning cell happening there in a northern Wisconsin. Here's your global view. And let's move on, since this was a recorded video, not a live stream. Next, looking at the water vapor over the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean, it's Earth's largest body of water and largest surface heat sink. Water has a very high latency of heat, meaning it takes a lot of energy to heat it up. And there's anomalously cold water in the South Pacific, one of the most desolate places in the world. This area right down here, not a lot of people hanging out down there. But there's a lot of cold water down there, and there's a lot of hot water up here. Anyway, that's where our weather largely comes from. And you can see this moisture here in the central U.S. there. Some sudden evaporation and so on happening. You can see all that water vapor being added to the map. That's a result of convective forces, evaporative processes. So here's your 72-hour pressure and precipitation forecast based on the GFS model. And you can see the snow there subsiding. Looks like in just a few hours here, the snow will finally have ceased. In Montana, again, that's your 72-hour GFS pressure and precipitation forecast. And next I figured I would show, since we're approaching summer, the June 21st summer solstice, I figured I would show the satellite imagery here. And you can see the Arctic Circle there. It's light all day long in places like northern Canada and northern Alaska. Yes, the Arctic Circle. That's your last 2 hours of satellite imagery. A great stitched together model there from windy.com. They've got a free mobile app you can download. It's just spectacular. And let's move on here to welcome you to the Neo Renaissance. Congratulations once again on realizing the channel exists. Please visit our links. Give Smash staff a raise by picking up some merch at the Redbubble shop. Today's featured product is the Do Not Pole Vault the Caldera. It's our second bestseller. Links below the video as well as on the homepage to that. Smashomash.com. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Here is your U.S. Doppler radar. Give that a minute to initialize there. Sup with that. There we go. And we'll focus on the lower 48 for the remainder of the video. There you can see those storms. They aren't super strong, but there is definitely a lot of rain associated with that system as it moves northeast toward Lake Superior. Here's a shortwave radiation map showing clouds and fog. It's still dark over half of the country plus. And here is your water vapor map. A huge convective system here in between South Carolina and Bermuda. And heavy rains falling over most of Wisconsin. Here's your recap. The U.S. Doppler radar map. That's radar.weather.gov. Here is your shortwave radiation map, part of the NASA GOES Interactive Weather Satellite Suite, 3.9 nanometer radiation. Yeah, water. It emits radiation. And last but not least, here is the water vapor map. Basically, you've got a high pressure system here over the eastern part of the country. You can see this overall clockwise rotation. The sign of an anticyclone. And that's where we'll have to close things out. So thanks for tuning into the Smash News Network, least busted name in news, and may that terrestrial wind be at your back.